What is your name and position on the movie Roman?
My name is Angela. My position is that I was the director on this film, Roman. As a director, I did what a director does.
What is your name and position on the motion picture entitled Roman?
My name is Lucky and my position is the missionary.
What is your name and position on the movie Roman? My name is Nectar Rose, and I'm an actress, and I play the role of Ava/Eva.
What is your name? And what was your position on Roman? My name is Jesse Lubick, and I played, originally I was called Jesse, was my character, a co-worker of Roman, but I think it might have been changed to Stankus Fan.
What is your name and position on the movie Roman?
My name is Zach Passero. On the movie Roman, my position was that I animated the Burro Boy sequence that Roman watches on the Mexican television airwaves that he sometimes gets on his little television.
¿Qué es su nombre y qué hiciste en la película Roman?
My name is Mike, and I was pretty much the star.
Let's see. What interested you about this project?
This was a project written long ago by my friend Lucky McKee, who had a desire to see one of his scripts made by a different brain than his own. So I challenged myself and gave it a try.
What interested you about this project? I wrote it.
What interested you about this project? I did one day shoot, just crazy David Lynch style stuff, and then somehow ended up with the lead.
That's fascinating.
Does that make sense?
I thought Roman was the lead.
Oh, well, female lead.
The real
No.
lead.
The real star of the movie.
What interested you about the project? What interests me in this project? I did it for the money. Quite frankly, it was, I didn't like the material, I didn't care for it. I didn't really care for any of the people involved. They made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
What interested you about this project?
Let's see here.
Should you have a pug in your hands right now?
I probably should. I might answer this question when I get a pug in my hands.
Hold on. We'll keep rolling. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. No, wait.
My position was neutral.
We already did your interview.
Oh, yeah, you mean...
No, he was just getting up to... No, you're done.
I
told you 15 times that you're done. We're done with your interview.
I was going to do it again.
Get up
now.
out of the chair.
Oh, come on. I
Get up
didn't
out of
know
the
my
chair.
lines last time. Fine.
Thank you. That's better. That's much better.
Better?
Yeah. It gives a little negative fill on the side of your face. That's totally bright.
Everyone loves puppies, too.
I see you have a pug.
This is Oliver Pug, 7 weeks old.
¿Por qué quería hacer esta película?
No comment.
No se dice.
Who or what was your inspiration for the movie Roman?
Lucky McKee.
Oh, I see, yes.
Who and or what was your inspiration for the movie Roman? I just decided to write it one weekend in college and wrote a first draft in 3 days, and it was pretty much what the movie ended up being, minus some really, really bad dialogue.
Who or what was your inspiration for this movie, Roman? Gosh, I think I just saw her when I read it. I saw her. I think more what was inspiring was having the hair and the costumes and like doing the crazy hairdos, and then that kind of helped me sink into it, and then
Don't say.
basically being directed and then acting with Lucky.
Who or what was your inspiration for the movie Roman? They paid me a lot of money. Yeah.
Who or what was your inspiration for the movie Roman?
Basically, I came up with a story for what would have been a long form short version of what's seen in the movie, of the Bro Boys' first adventure, basically, and all that ever really kind of gets seen or got finished within the time period was the dream sequence opening of what this short is. And let's see, so I came up with the story and wrote a song for the Burro Boy to sing, because I wanted him to be singing some sort of a haunting Mexican melody love song for his burro.
¿Quién o qué era su inspiración para la película Roman?
No comment.
What were Kevin's inspirations when he cut this movie?
Kevin's inspirations while cutting the movie were to tell the story in the closest fashion that he could to what was written with what was shot. And he tried many things with the help of other editors as well. And hopefully we came to a good spot.
Did Kevin ever get inspired while he was editing the movie, or did he just hack his way through it like he does everything else? Kevin's inspirations, I don't know. My big question about Kevin's inspirations when cutting the movie is, what was he smoking?
What were Kevin's inspirations when cutting the movie? Okay.
Please be specific.
And don't forget to incorporate it.
What were Kevin's inspirations while cutting the movie? I basically edited the movie. I channeled my editing vibe into Kevin, and he just sat there. He told me he blacked out. He didn't even realize he was sitting in front of his computer. He thought he'd go to bed at night. I'd go like this. Okay, Kevin. Good. And he'd get up and like this. He'd walk like this, like people do when they're in a trance. And he'd sit in front of his computer.
Oh, yeah.
edit.
That's very interesting.
And then he'd email me a copy of it, and I knew it. I was happy. I knew what it was already.
What were Kevin's inspiration when cutting the movie?
Wow. I think Columbo. I'm pretty sure it was Columbo.
¿Qué eran las inspiraciones de Kevin cuando estaba cortando la película?
Who is Kevin?
And what was it like working with Angela behind the camera?
Angela is an amateur, but we all tried to take it easy with her.
I see, yeah.
I would say that she might have had a little laziness there, just leaving it up to everybody else.
Well, what was it like working with Angela behind the camera? Well, on this one, I never worked with Angela behind the camera because I was in front of it and she was behind it. And what is behind the camera exactly?
What was it like working with Angela behind the camera? She understood, as an actor, how to guide me through the process. I felt like not alone,
What was it like working with Angela behind the camera? Angela had no idea that I was actually directing the film.
What was it like working with Angela behind the camera?
¿Cómo estaba trabajando con Ángela atrás de la cámara?
Who is Angela?
What was it like for Lucky to perform in front of the camera?
Lucky is a monkey. Put a camera on him, he goes.
Does Lucky prefer directing or acting?
Lucky prefers getting naked and boogieing down.
What was it like for Lucky to perform in front of the camera? Lucky had difficulty at first performing in front of the camera. He was really used to being behind the camera. But he had someone keeping a real good eye on him and making sure he didn't have boogers in his nose, and that his hair was all properly in place. And then his glasses, the lenses on his glasses were clean. And that was Angela, the director. What does Lucky actually prefer? Directing? Acting? Lucky prefers cooking. Bobsledding. No, he pretty much prefers cooking.
What was it like for Lucky to perform in front of the camera? I think that Lucky really had, you know, distractions. I can't concentrate with all this.
Who is it?
So,
It says they're interrupting.
Can you guys just hold on a second? I gotta take this call.
that's what it was like. Okay, if you really want to know. All right. Does Lucky prefer directing or acting? I honestly think Lucky prefers acting.
What was it like for Lucky to perform in front of the camera? I actually did that too. Lucky just would show up to set and I'd go like this, and then he'd black out.
Jesse, don't take him off when we're filming. People will know who it's you.
This was all my psychic projection, this whole project.
They'll know it's you.
In fact, I'm asking myself these questions right now. Does Lucky McKee prefer directing or acting? I think Lucky would say that he prefers directing, but he did a fine job acting as well.
Does Lucky prefer directing or acting?
I think he prefers acting like he's directing.
¿Cómo fue para Lucky performar en la película?
He was there.
¿Prefera Lucky directando o acting?
Directing?
What was it like working with Nectar?
Nectar is a dream of a girl. So working with her was a dream of an experience.
How was Nectar's performance?
Nectar was a little lifesaver, in all honesty. She worked in a situation where she had to learn dialogue in about 5 minutes and then shoot it. She was in a situation where she was very cold. It was very last minute. And she saved us. She's a little heroine. Not that kind of heroine.
What was it like working with Nectar? Nectar was cool. She played the part in a different way than we'd envisioned, and actually took it to a whole other place. Only a place that Nectar could take it. Don't bullshit me on this one. Nectar's performance was awesome. She completely made you buy that this was a nutty chick that loved death, and she gave it weight. I felt that. That came from your heart, didn't it? It's too bad.
What was it like working with Nectar? She kind of got in the way. I was like telling her to shut up. And she was really neurotic, and she had a hard time memorizing lines. But once she shut up and trusted the director and trusted the writer and her actor, everything was cool.
What was it like working with Nectar? Working with Nectar wasn't very easy. We're actually never on screen together, but we shared a trailer. It was a lower budget thing, and she's leaving her shit all over the place. It's always a mess. So working with Nectar was challenging at times, but she did a fine job, and it was worth it. I'd do it all over again in a heartbeat.
What was it like working with Nectar?
¿Se gusta trabajando con Nectar? ¿Y cómo está Nectar en la película?
Was this the first time that you worked on digital?
No, I've been around digital since the 90s.
how was your experience with the Canon XL2?
It's not a bad camera. I'm happy with a lot of our images.
Was this the first time you worked with? Wait, let me rephrase that. Was this the first time that you worked with Digital? This was not the first time I worked with Digital. I worked with Digital back when he was still selling watches on 42nd Street. That's just... They'll cut it. How was your experience working with the Canon XL2 camera? What can I say about the Canon XL2 camera? I mean, I slept with it every night after shooting and made sweet love to it. Keep looking at the button on your shirt. I don't know why. Your face itches.
Was this the first time you worked with digital? Because it really seemed like it. Actually, no, but it was the first time I worked with the lead actor holding the camera for Roman's POV shots, which is kind of cool. It was really neat to like act with the actor, but also the camera was right there. And he's tall, so that was kind of cool. How was your experience with the Canon XL2 camera? I don't know. I'm just an actor.
Was this the first time you worked with digital? I have worked on digital before. I had this watch when I was a kid that broke, and I took the thing apart. It actually wasn't broken, it just needed a new battery. I fixed the damn thing. I was a kid. What do you think about that? Working on digital as a kid. Tell me, how was your experience with the Canon XL2? Well, I didn't actually work with the camera. I mean, it was kind of it was like there, you know, like there. So I never touched it.
Was this the first time you worked with digital?
No, it wasn't. I've been working on digital for a while. For quite a while now.
Like 20 minutes?
Like 20 minutes, yes. This counts, right?
Era su último experiencia con digital.
No comment.
¿Se gusta esta cámara, el Canon XL2? Ellos van a dar a nosotros mucho dinero para dice esto.
And what are the major differences between studio productions and independent productions?
Well, I've been told not to equate them, but money is the biggest difference that I notice. There's a lot more in a studio production, but I might add that in an independent, you have a lot more space to just, a lot more space to fuck up and experiment.
Did you enjoy the low budget production? Low budget film productions, they're good and they're bad. What are the major differences between, say, making a studio picture and making an independent picture? The major difference between studio productions and independent productions is that on a studio production, you have to wear pants all the time. Even if you can't even wear pants that look like skin.
The voices. Okay. Did you enjoy the low-budget independent production? I did hair and makeup and sometimes props and a little bit of location scouting. Yeah, I think I even held a boom once or something. I don't know if that's this movie, but yeah, low budget's cool. You know, you really learn a lot about a lot of different aspects of filmmaking you had no idea you were going to. What are the major differences between studio productions and independent productions? Independent seems to pretty much know what they want. They seem to because it's usually the people that created it have more control of the vision and the way it's applied. And they seem to be more open-minded. Specifically, Roman, I experienced a lot of magic as far as coincidences and open-mindedness to, take a scene and see how it might play into the plot in a different way than they thought originally. Big studio projects, sometimes I feel like there's a conflict of interest, like people aren't on the same page with what story they're telling, you know? And I'm usually excluded from hearing about it, and I usually don't know much of what's going on, but I can feel it, you know? But I just go in my little honey wagon and hide until it's my scene. But on this, I got to like be a part of like this creative process, you know? And yes, everybody's professional, you know, but I really felt like more involved.
Did you enjoy the low-budget independent experience? I love low-budget productions. You know, it's nice when there's nothing to eat and it's all hot. What everyone wants to know is, what are the major differences between studio productions and independent productions?
Me kissing my pug on the mouth, I would never be doing that in a big budget film. But, and they probably would cut this out of the DVD extras for sure.
¿Gusta robando a películas sin dinero?
I didn't get paid.
¿Qué son las diferencias mejores de las películas que los estudios hacen y las personas como nosotros?
Assholes.
Are you pleased with the outcome of the movie, Roman?
In the end, I can only be pleased with the outcome of Roman. There are a lot of challenges, and it was a successful experiment in the end. So, yeah.
What did you learn from making the movie, Roman?
I learned so much from the making of the movie Roman. I know how to direct a movie now. I could do it again if the occasion occurred. And I could go into a lot of detail about that, but I'd rather just leave it simple.
Are you pissed with the outcome of the movie, Roman? Or are you pleased with the outcome of the movie, Roman? I'm pleased with what came out of the movie, Roman.
What came out of it?
That's private. We sold it. What the fuck are you gonna do? It's gonna be on Showtime in January, bitch. Non-skin colored pants. That's the rule. It's like a union thing or something.
What did you learn from making the movie Roman? To me, Roman's really about grieving and the way you grieve, you know? And Roman can't let go of this girl that he killed. He can't let go of her. So just little by little, his way of dealing is like sawing her off little by little, you know, and getting rid of the body parts little by little. And that's kind of like how he's getting over her, you know? I think that's my perception.
Are you pleased with the outcome of the movie Roman? I am pleased with the outcome of Roman. I've seen it a couple of times, and I think it's a pretty cool little movie.
¿Se gusta la película Roman?
I haven't seen it.
Sí, yo también. ¿Hay algo que la experiencia de haciendo la película Roman que enseña a usted? ¿Cómo se dice? What did you learn?
I learned that Old Forester was better than Old Crow.
Please, give a finishing statement or message to those that are younger than yourself, aspiring to be filmmakers.
Should I? I should, right? Run. Run away. Don't do it. Head for the hills.